All good things must come to an end, including Oklahoma softball's 40-game win streak. It wasn't just good, though. It was great. It was incredible. It was the third longest streak in NCAA history. The Georgia Bulldogs got to play spoiler earlier this week in the first game of a doubleheader. Took the Sooners all the way to 9 innings, end up winning by 1 run. What was more impressive, though, was the way that Oklahoma responded in the second game of the doubleheader. End up coming out, winning the game in 5 innings, putting the Bulldogs away 12-3. This is what we've seen from the Sooners all season long. The run rule wins. Of their 34 victories this season, get this, 26 have been run rule victories. They've gotten it done with their pitching. They have 18 shutouts on the season, which leads the entire country. Plus, their offense is equally, if not more, impressive. In fact, coming into this year, 27-year head coach Patty Gasso, who has 4 national championships there at the University of Oklahoma, said she thought that this offense had the chance to be the most special in program history. Take a look at these numbers. They speak for themselves. The Sooners are number 1 in the nation in nearly every offensive category. Batting average, runs per game, on-base percentage. They lead the country in home runs as a team. It's no surprise that the player who leads the country in home runs is, in fact, a Sooner slugger. Jocelyn Alo joins me right now in the Big 12 studios from Norman, Oklahoma. Jocelyn, after a 40-game win streak was snapped in the first game of a doubleheader, your team comes out and responds with its 26th run rule win of the year. What did you learn about your team that night in Georgia?
I think we all learned a pretty valuable lesson, obviously from the loss, but coach always tells us it's how you come back after that loss. And I think we all just kind of regrouped and was like, okay, like that's not going to happen again. So we all really came together, really locked in on what we were trying to do and got after it.
What is now this new streak, this new goal that this team has its eyes set on?
I don't really think we look too much at streaks. Mostly, obviously we're number 1 now, but we want to be number 1 in June. So that's kind of our goal. And if we take more losses along the way, then we do, but we're just going to keep moving forward from this.
What's it going to take to stay there?
I think that we're just going to collectively have to get better as a group because what we did obviously wasn't good enough. So coach always tells us not to be complacent, and a complacent team is not going to keep moving forward. So I think that we all just need to recognize what we need to work on and really put our minds to it and just keep moving forward, honestly.
For you individually, despite just 1 home run in the last 9 games, you still lead the country in homers. What adjustments have you seen pitchers make against you lately?
I think like season gets harder as you go through. Obviously our bodies are starting to feel it a little bit more going deeper into the season. But I mean, pitchers watch film, and honestly, to me, I think pitchers will always have the upper edge. So I just need to make better adjustments. But pitching's gotten better as we've gone along in the Big 12. So, I mean, I'm not going to hit a home run every game. You know what I mean? So just keep working hard.
You have a pinned tweet from 2017 that says your favorite part about hitting home runs isn't necessarily hitting them, but it's your dad's
Yeah.
reaction. What's been the one home run that's generated the best reaction to date?
I actually remember the all the World Series home runs, but I think the one that sticks out to me the most was the first one I ever hit. And ironically, it was off G when she was at ASU. So, yeah, I remember I was looking at my dad in the on deck circle, and he wasn't really looking at me, but I was looking at him. And I was just like, wow, like we're really like living this dream out. We've always dreamed of going to the World Series. Just me and him, it's been our thing. And then for me to hit that home run and to see the ball presented to him was pretty cool. So yeah, I distinctively remember that one.
Coming all the way to Oklahoma from Hawaii, how much fun is it when your family gets to be there in person, and what games have they been able to come to this season?
Oh, it's super fun. I'm a really big family person, so whenever any family gets to come, I really enjoy that time. And my mom was fortunate enough to come to Kansas. Actually, my older sister had watched me play in person at the Kansas series, so that was pretty cool. My dad and grandma got to come to Texas and Georgia, and they'll also be there for Tech and Baylor. So it's got a long road trip for them.
With home runs, you've had tremendous success there at Oklahoma. Freshman year, number one in the country, and then sophomore year, ranked 41st. But then now here you are back number one your senior season. What was it that you really focused on this off season to get back on track?
I really just wanted. I took this year as I just want to put everything out there, honestly. So I really committed to, like, normally in the summers I would just kind of like just hit here and there and not really work out. I'd work out not as much as I should have, but it took me to this year to be like, okay, like no more um, being complacent. Just go out there and give it all that you got. And so I really committed to getting into really good shape, hitting every day, um, eating better choices, and just kind of making myself a better person. I feel like I've matured a lot over these 4 years, and I still have a lot of maturing to do, but I really like the place that I'm in now, and I'm really just putting it all out there on the field.
Many of your teammates and coaches, they describe you as cerebral. What is it when you step into the batter's box? What is your thought process?
I try not to think a lot about like what a pitcher's gonna do. I just go in there and I'm like, okay, like see ball, hit ball. And if I happen to get out, I know that I got myself out for the most part. So I honestly, just as a hitter, I never am gonna give a pitcher any credit because that's just the mindset that I have.
You batted in this lineup 1 through 3 during your time at Oklahoma, but this year finding yourself at home in the number two spot. What do you like about batting second?
I love batting behind TRA. I just think Tiare, for such a young freshman, has a really good eye and a really good idea of what she wants to do in the box. And I think both of us are very similar in the way that we approach things. So, in a sense, I'm like kind of watching myself. And I like the conversations that we have we just are a really good 1-2 punch, I think.
Speaking of Tiare Jennings, who's third in the country in home runs, and Jada Coleman, who's second in the nation with her batting average, how impressed have you been by these two freshmen coming in and making an immediate impact?
Man, these two freshmen, they just do it all, honestly. And I've known them through travel ball. I've heard of them through travel ball. Obviously, I played with Tiare. I didn't play with Jada, but I've heard a lot of good things about her. And normally, when girls come to college, it's kind of a shock for them. But when they came to college, they're like, I'm ready to ball. Like, let's go. And the impact that they've made is a really, really strong impact. And I'm excited to see how they grow over these 4 years. And I'm excited to play 2 years with them too.
From your freshmen to your redshirt seniors who had the chance to come back for another year, outfielder Nicole Mendez and pitchers Shannon Sale and G. Juarez, how has their leadership made such a big contribution in getting this team to be number one in the country?
Oh, it's been super impactful just to have them here. Obviously, they have a whole nother year on us, so they've been there for a little bit longer. But I also think that Lindsay Elam and Grace Lyons does a really good job of just kind of bringing along the young ones to say, like, hey, this is what we need to do. This is how we're going to do it. And we need you guys to do this. So I think that we all have done a really good job collectively of bringing along the freshmen, like kind of up to our level. And we've learned from the previous class before, like Sid's class, Shay's class. So I'm excited for us to teach these young ones how to become leaders and for them just to pass along the torch as well.
This team gets, so much hype and so much attention for its offense, but also the pitching this season has been on fire. 18 shutouts, leads the country. How much does that really allow this offense to play so freely when you step up to the plate?
Oh, it's super good. I just know that these pitchers are gonna get after it, and I know that our pitchers have to have the advantage because they are facing the best offense every single day. So they come in against another team and they're like, all right, just let me just give it to you real quick and my offense is going to handle the rest.
Your head coach, Patty Gasso, heading into this season, said that she thought you all had the chance to be the best offense in Oklahoma softball history. Why are you proving her right?
I just think that this group of hitters, honestly, is one of the hardest working groups that I've ever seen. Um, not trying to take away anything, not trying to take anything away from the classes that have come before, but I think that this group is super locked in and super mature in their approach that they have at the plate. And collectively, we talk a lot about, hey, what are you seeing? Just a lot of really good communication goes on between the whole lineup. Even the girls on the bench, they're like, hey, I'm seeing this a little bit. So it's really a whole team of hitters working towards one goal. And I think that that's super cool.
How much of that mentality and that work ethic comes from the adversity you all faced last year and the season abruptly ending due to COVID?
Yeah, I think a lot of it came from that because I really think that we didn't end the way that we wanted to with COVID. So, in that sense, it was like a second chance. So, we really are taking this second chance and really just going and running with it. I I think that COVID was definitely a good thing for us because now we get to really show like this is what the actual Sooners is all about.
Everyone that's associated with this Oklahoma softball team talks about the championship mindset. What is this inside meaning of the championship mindset?
To have a championship mindset to me is just striving to be better every day. Like I said, not being complacent, and also just having this not selfish attitude whenever you're on the field and really playing for something bigger than yourself. But yeah, just it's a lot of different things. And if you were to ask another girl, I'm sure they'd have a whole new meaning. But to me, it's blue collar, working hard every single day, and just giving it all for your team.
Jocelyn, thank you so much. It's been a blast to watch you all and cover you all this season, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you. Shout out to Hawaii. Love you guys.
Alo and the Sooners are back in action tonight in conference play, taking on Texas Tech. You can visit the entire Sooners softball schedule, as well as all your favorite Big 12 softball teams on Big12Sports.com. This has been a special episode of Inside the Big 12, and I'm your host, Morgan Uber.